All right, we're ready, everyone. Good evening, Mount Vernon. Today is Wednesday, June 24th, 2026. I'm your City Council President, Derek Thompson, and we're ready for our regular scheduled City Council meeting. Just a little housekeeping. If you have a cell phone, please mute your cell phones and or turn them off so they don't interrupt the meeting. If you need to take a phone call, please step outside because the acoustics pick up everything. If you need to use the bathroom, the ladies' room is right outside this door on the right-hand side. Gentlemen's room is at the top of the main staircase. God forbid there's an emergency. There's a back exit here that leads you down the back steps, as well as the main staircase leads you down as well to the back parking lot. With that being said, please let us all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilman Box Hill.
To the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now we're gonna have My Country 'Tis of Thee sung by Director Debbie Burrell Butler. No, I said you were gonna sing My Country 'Tis of Thee. I'm just messing with you. I appreciate it. So we're gonna get right into honoring our young people. So I called you up so you can introduce, and we'll go from there. You push it and you'll see a red light on it. Yeah.
Oh, it's the red light. Okay. I like green. Go. All right. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
So, City Council, thank you. So today, Councilman Wallace will be acknowledging some of our youth that are graduating from middle school, moving to the high school, and some of our high school students who are moving to college or untraditional, coming. Who are moving on to traditional colleges and non-traditional to trade school. If you know anything, since 2024, the Youth Bureau had launched their first gala, so we could raise funds to help fund our youth who decided that, you know what, I want to go further my education, but I don't want to go the traditional route. So the Planting the Seed Gala helped us donate, giving back $20,000 to 20 youth. That's what we pledged. Thank you. And thus far, we were successful in giving away 16. It is a application process. That 4 is still put aside for that mission, that purpose. We are having another gala tonight. Not tonight. God knows I couldn't do it tonight. It feels like it's tonight. But on 7/23, we will be hosting our second biannual Planting the Seed Gala. And I really do hope that like City Council Chamber, City Council members will be there. We are actually one of the honoree. I think you might know him, might like him. I don't know. I'm just saying his name is Jordan. He works in the city clerk's office. And so if you do like him, you probably want to come out, support him. And just like myself, if you heard me speak before, I will always say that I am a product of Mount Vernon. I'm also a product of the Youth Bureau. I was there since I was 13. And so one of the reasons why we also was giving Jordan this honor is because he came through also the Youth Bureau and he didn't leave. Maybe he left, but he did came back. And so he's here. And so it was a nice gesture to be him being one of the honoree. And so with that being said, in this room this afternoon, we have some amazing youth that deserve the acknowledgement that they'll be receiving today. And so what I'm going to do is call my directors, because they're the one that assist in nominating these individuals. So I will call them up and they will then speak briefly about the youth. And then you guys will continue to do what you do. Cool. And so the first one I will call up is right there in the front row. I will call Tia Williams, who is my Safe Haven and GEM program director.
So good evening, everyone. So I have the honor of calling up 2 young ladies. Only one young lady is here currently, but I'm still going to introduce the other one. So please join me today in celebrating an outstanding 8th grade graduate of Benjamin Turner Academy. She takes the next exciting steps in her educational journey at Denzel Washington School of the Arts. This young gem has shown determination, growth, and the potential to achieve great things. As she enters this new chapter, she carries with her the skills, talent, and drive to embrace new opportunities and continue reaching for success. Congratulations, Nina Simone Scott, on this incredible accomplishment. Continue to believe in yourself, pursuing your passions, and letting your light shine. Your journey is just beginning, and there are amazing things ahead of you. Everyone, Miss Nina Simone Scott.
Yes. And just so you know, parents, all the awardees will take the picture with the elected official. And at the end, parents will get the opportunity to take a picture with your child and the elected officials as well, right? But at the end, we're doing the awardees first and then at the end, okay? All right.
All right, so please also join me in celebrating another outstanding and amazing 13-year-old graduate of Benjamin Turner Academy who attended the GEMS program also. as she prepares for an exciting new journey at Denzel Washington School of the Arts. She is truly a fashionista with creativity, style, and a bright future ahead of her. Her hard work, dedication, unique personality have already begun to shine, and this next chapter is just the beginning of even greater accomplishments. Congratulations, Morgan Brown, on this incredible milestone. Continue to dream big, stay confident, and embrace every opportunity that comes your way.
Next to the podium, I would like to call Emmeline Infante Delgado.
Good evening, all. Marlon could not be here today, but I do have remarks from his behalf that I would like to read. My name is Marlon Delabank, and I am a 17-year-old senior at Mount Vernon High School. I am hardworking, compassionate, and a determined student who plans to pursue a career in nursing after graduation. I am deeply honored to receive this distinction from the Mount Vernon City Council and sincerely thank the council for recognizing my achievements. I'm also grateful to my family, teachers, and mentors at the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau for their encouragement and support throughout my journey. Thank you. And now I would like to present this to my mentee. Everyone knows who this is, but I'll read this anyway. This distinction recognizes young people who lead by example, overcome challenges, and inspire people around them. This young lady embodies the spirit and mission of the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. A previous participant in the Ready for Life YEP programs, today a high school graduate, and an upcoming member of the YAC program, she represents growth and leadership. Please join me in congratulating Leah Loblack.
Next to the podium, I will call Carolyn Treasure.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm pleased to introduce Cassandra Dorset, who's not here today. She is actually accepting an award at her school tonight, so she wasn't able to come. Her aunt, which I don't see, was supposed to be here to accept it on her behalf. Cassandra has been with me for a few years. She makes me feel old. She's now 14. She used to be with me in the Safe Haven program. Now she is going on to work for this summer. So she follows me along now that I'm the YE, the Youth Employment Services Coordinator. Very bright young lady. And I have taken a very, liking to her. I'm so proud of her for the woman the young lady that she is today. And I would want to accept it on her behalf. I don't see her grandmother or her aunt, but I guess we'll do that later. Thank you.
Last but not least, I will call Mr. Woodbury, Wayne Woodbury, to the podium.
Good evening, everyone, to the Pulpit Associates. I first want to just say that the best way to describe this young man is by his favorite scripture, which is Joshua. Joshua, after Moses has died, God spoke directly to Joshua and told him, "For as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you. Be strong and be of good courage." This young man has exemplified those words throughout his days and throughout his life. He has not only been a young man who have overcome a lot of things, but he has set examples. He has changed lives of a lot of young people that follow behind him. I am so proud of him for what he has already accomplished and what he will accomplish. Eric Alexander Rodriguez is exactly what the Youth Bureau stands for. He is a young man that comes in, he volunteers, he works, he is my assistant. I can leave my office by himself. He has done stuff for the mayor and everything like that. I am so proud of this young man. He is graduating this year and he's going off to Cornell College to start his own program where he's at, and it's already in the making. I am proud of him. Eric Alexander Rodriguez.
Once again, thank you, Youth Bureau, and all the workers therein. We truly treasure all of the work that you do.
You mind after?
Go ahead, councilpersons, if you want to say something, we'll start with Wallace.
Yes. First of all, I just want to update everybody too. And I would like to thank Woodbury for standing in for me in the Bronx, because all of these youth were also awarded in the Bronx as well with the app program. So throughout the Bronx and throughout New York City, our kids were combined with those kids as children of excellence. So it's not just in Mount Vernon that they're recognized throughout the whole city of New York as well. So I want to just give you a round of applause for that, please, and commend them. And with the program, like I always say, we always focus on the kids that are doing wrong, but not the kids that are doing right. And we have so many children in our community and tremendous with tremendous abilities and smarts that go unnoticed. So this is an opportunity for us to notice this. And trust me, I noticed this. I've been working with the Youth Bureau now over 15 years. I've been working with Debbie since, I can't even remember, because we started doing even for job placements, second chance programs, all kind of things through the years. So I've always been involved, and I just wanted to make sure that our children this go around is recognized. I gave scholarships to the ones that was in the legal the mock trial in the legal department, working with them and stuff, that went to college for their books and all. So out of this crew, I'm going to give them the same scholarship for those going to college to make sure that they can purchase the books as well. So this way they can get a head start also, make sure they have the books and all the things that they need. I'll probably throw in a couple of packs and boxes of ramen noodles because you're gonna need it. That's the survival kit, and I'll give you my 10 recipes on how to cook it in 10 different ways. Because you have to get I got 10. It includes the hot dogs, salad, hot dogs, all kind of stuff, because that's your survival kit. But, it's important to me that we focus on our youth, because our youth is tomorrow. Those are the folks that are going to be sitting here in our seats later. Those are the ones that are going to be taking care of us. And what I want to make sure is when I get old and ready and, in a wheelchair, that somebody's there to push me, but, help us out as well. So we always got to look at our children for tomorrow and just make sure that we focus on them, because that is the true treasures in life, and I'm sorry I wasn't there on to make it on Saturday for the function, because it was Father's Day weekend and my family already had planned some things for me, and I couldn't get out of it with my own kids and let them down. But thank you so much, Woodbury, for standing in. I heard you was amazing. You gave amazing speech on the behalf of the city council, myself, and Mount Vernon, and you did your thing. So thank you so much, and thank you to all of you parents. Yeah. Yep. I want to thank the parents as well, because good parenting makes a big difference. And you can see that when you invest in our children, that investment becomes something incredible, because it's not true treasure. I always say, is not what you have, it's who you have in your life. And what is important is to be able to respect those parents that have given you everything. So when they give you your life and then raise you, your gift to them is how you turn out. And you children have turned out amazing. So I'm so proud of you guys. And I'm proud of the parents that did such a wonderful job. So I applaud you all. So thank you all.
Boxer?
Good evening, everyone. Javon Boxhill here. Congratulations again. And this is congratulations not just to our students who make us so proud, to the families because stood behind them, um, gave them a safe place, and really just supported them every way, in every way, shape, or form. And but especially to the kids here today, choices matter, and the fact that they're here and being honored, they made a lot of right choices so far in life. And we just want to continue to support them, that they continue to make the right choices and get behind them. We always, like Councilman Wallace pointed out, we always talk about what's wrong, but there's so much going right in our city. And, I'm just happy to be a part of, celebrating them. And thank you, Debbie Butler, Tia Woodbury, the whole Youth Bureau family. I can't call everyone's name, but you guys just do an awesome job, and with or without recognition, they're doing the work. So we appreciate you guys wholeheartedly. So congratulations again. Thank you.
Attorney Quest Jones.
Good evening, everyone. So to the children, I just want to say that there is a specific word, and it didn't start with you today. It didn't start with you yesterday. It started a while ago, and that is your discipline. Discipline is very key. Integrity is the utmost. And so the discipline that you have for yourself, the integrity that you have for yourself, to be there, to be present, to get up and to go. But in the meantime, between time, you made sure that you didn't look at what somebody else was doing. You looked at what you are doing, because that is who matters. So I just want you to make sure that you continue what you're doing, continue staying disciplined, continue having that integrity, and continue looking at yourself, and make sure that you celebrate yourself and the accomplishments that you are going to start making, which is more. To the parents, I am a daughter of two immigrants. One is from Belize, Central America, and the other one is from Long Island, Bahamas. Neither one of them went to college, but they made sure that they said something constantly over and over again. Don't look at what anybody else is doing. Make sure you look at what we are doing. We sit at the table, we eat. We love each other. And that will turn into you loving yourself. And so once again, I want to thank you for showing me to continue being disciplined and continue having integrity about myself as well, like you. Thank you.
Gleason.
Councilwoman Turnquest Jones kind of downplayed that. She carries about how many master's degrees? I think there's 4 or 5 in there. So that's determination and discipline right there. One thing I would like to say is I'm always so inspired when the youth come and we honor them, because I was a product of the Youth Bureau. I worked, deputy clerk was a product of the Youth Bureau. And
Me too.
yeah.
Me too.
So,
Back in
Darryl,
1950.
So just to get, he sometimes jokes a little, but it's inspiring, and it inspires us to continue to do our job. And I think that that's so important, because our job can be a thankless job. And then we see stuff that we're investing in our youth. And when I see you guys excel, and I see the staff so engaged with the youth of our community, it's inspiring. I don't think I've ever walked into the Youth Bureau, and it could have been a very tight day where the directors 9, 10 o'clock at night were coming out of council. She's leaving because she had to get a grant done. That is inspiring. How can I not do a good job when we have you guys be the product of their hard work? It's really important. And Councilman Wallace says it on a regular basis. Everybody says, oh, there's nothing for the youth to do here in the city of Mount Vernon. Well, they have not met the Youth Bureau, because I have seen kids that were in trouble that maybe would not be hired by a candy store, a bakery, Target. You guys take so much time and invest in these youth that I just want to say thank you. And I know that we're always saying thank you, but the parents are here tonight, right? Your family is here tonight. It's so important that, for whatever reason you did it, Maybe you had a job that you had to work to 6 and you needed your kids engaged, not on the street, getting into trouble. Or maybe you saw, the description of the program and said, my daughter, my son would be perfect for it. So I thank you, parents. Thank you so much. And to the youth of our community, do what we did. We came out of the Youth Bureau. Our nursing student is going to be a life of service there. Like, this is an example of what the Youth Bureau has instilled in your children. So thank you so much. And to all the students, congratulations. You turn 18, don't forget to vote every election. That is really important. And don't think that your voice is not heard, because I won by 3 votes, not 1. 3 votes against Councilman Wallace a few years ago. So now we joke about it. It was very tense for about 6 weeks. But I just wanted to instill the importance when you get to that age of 18, that you be mindful, you look at what's important. Your voice actually matters, and we appreciate you. Go and be great, guys.
Awesome. So once again, we want to say congratulations to all of our youth. But we really appreciate our parents and our family and our loved ones who actually encourage our youth on a daily basis to ensure that their well-being is being kept, if you will. And I say to our youth, we don't expect you to be perfect, because none of us are, but we do expect you to be productive. So make sure you are the best at whatever you're doing. Make sure you are putting what they say, stand 10 toes down and handle your business. Your only competition is you. Don't envy anything that anyone else has. Your only competition is you. So make sure you do what you have to do. And also, if you're ever unsure about something, it's okay to ask for help. If you're ever in need of something, it's okay to ask for help. You have a wonderful youth bureau behind you. You have your council persons, elected officials. You can ask us anything as well. A lot of the essentials that I learned outside of my household was when I was a part of the youth bureau. And then when I was in the youth bureau from about the age of 12 to 17, and I got my working papers through the youth bureau. I got my first job through the youth bureau. Everything that I needed was in the youth bureau as a young adult, and it really kept me off the streets. So I wasn't one to hang out on the streets. I got all those essentials from the youth bureau. So make sure you stay connected. And also, I hope you adopt the mantra that I have for the students at my school. And that mantra is simply, I am somebody. And tell yourself that every single day in the mirror. And some of us adults need that as well, because you have to reassure yourself that you matter. And that mantra just said, I am somebody. I was somebody when I walked in here, and I'll be a better somebody when I leave. I'm unstoppable, unbreakable, and unbothered by anyone's negativity. I am somebody, and that somebody is me. So make sure you hold on to that, and I encourage everyone to say that mantra every single day, because the way the world is going on and all of the mess that's in the world, there's more goodness than there is mess, but people like to focus on the mess. So you make sure that your common ground is always what's going to be the best for you and your family. So just stay connected to those who love you, and make sure as you're doing well, when you see someone struggling behind you, pull them up with you and encourage them so they'll stay on the right track. And I guarantee you, if we continue to work together, we will be the best in our households, the best in our communities, and the best that the world has ever seen. So God bless you all. Also, I know earlier this year we had some connections, and we wanted to make sure that the youth bureau had an opportunity to come sit with us. So we want to invite you again, probably in August, September, if we can get ourselves ready for that. Some of the youth who are here today, if you're interested in learning, because I learned civic engagement through the youth bureau as well. So if you want to come and sit with the council persons and actually see what we do, because as we get old and move over, some of y'all gonna need these seats. And it's just a pleasure, because I was born, raised, educated, and employed right here in Mount Vernon. And it's an opportunity and a pleasure to be able to make some of the laws for the city, help things move along within the city. So it's rewarding and an unrewarding position, if you will. So it's just a great thing. So if any of you are interested, make sure you tell Director Debbie Burrell Butler that you're interested, and then you can sit with us. There's only one meeting in August, so you can sit with us the second Monday and second Wednesday in August. And then there's 2 meetings in September and going forth. So we would love to sort of train our young people. So they're the new council persons and the new mayors and the new comptrollers that are be coming up. So we'll make sure that you get the information you need. So thank you so much for that. Thank you. So that is our youth portion. Now, if y'all want to stay, you're welcome, but y'all can go if you like. This is your time to move if you like to. But if you want to stay and see what goes on here, you're more than welcome. So we'll give you a moment to move around. It's just awesome being able to honor our young people. Thank you all so much. We have our speaker list now. We're going to move through our speaker list, and at this portion, our speakers come up and they say what they like to say to the council, and at the end of every speaker, council persons will respond, and we'll go from there. So I'll call you up. You have 4 minutes, and then after your 4 minutes, the next speaker will come. When you come up, state your name and address for the record, and then we'll move forward, okay? Peter, I didn't see Peter. Is he online? Yeah, is he online? He's not there? I don't see him. Matt Passarelli? Did I mess his name up? Passarelli? No, I don't see. Okay. Is Matt online? No? How about, I thought I saw Lance McDowell. Yes. How are you? Come on up to the podium. And then you'll have 4 minutes to speak. You want me to go to the next one and come back to you? Oh, okay. All right. How are you? State your name and address for the record, and you have 4 minutes. Yeah. It's on.
Lance McDowell, 144 Stevens Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. I'm here to bring up, I got 4 minutes, so I'm gonna talk quick. I'm here to bring up a serious issue. I don't know if you guys was on the panel in 2023. It looks like a whole new panel up here, but I have an action against the city of Mount Vernon. I'm gonna say that right now, due to negligence. And I also I plan on filing punitive damages against Officer Goodman, whatever his name is. Back in January 2023, I filled out for a hack license to operate and own a cab and things of that nature. I have them right here. I was denied that. And I also put in an appeal where I also asked them to deal, they went back on fingerprints. Well, I was taught to how to deal with Article 23A, also how to deal with Article 23A, how it complies. All this stuff was presented to the council and the council panel and all that. The reason why I put it in down here is because I went up to the federal courts, and I came back down here to the local courts because that's how it's supposed to go. If I went to the federal courts, they would have kicked it out, so I couldn't sue. So I came back down here and I filled the complaint out here, and it's been in the lawyer's office for over since 2024, 2023, this has been going on. Only thing I wanted to obtain was a hack license to operate a cab. I also want you to know that I have a good conduct from the New York State Department of Corrections, which came from the supervision. So I could do a lot of things, and it had nothing to do with not being able to possess own a cab. They went off of outdated what you would say, charter that was written in 1989, 1988. We're dealing with this right here, which came from me filing the paperwork right here. and the denial of the taxi license, okay? It's all right here in paper, and this has been going on for a while. Article 23A was to ask for a reversal, asking you how to deal with, people that's been in situations like me. I don't have to tell you that I have any felony because I haven't been incarcerated for damn near 30 years, excuse my mouth. So it's up to me to share that with any one of you guys. But you know what I'm saying? I took my shirt off because I worked in high value stores, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, the train station, and I work in the bank. So I oversee money, people putting it in safes and all that before I go home in the afternoon. I wake up every day and I go to work, and I feel like I was mistreated and treated unfair, that I'm still waiting from 2023 and waiting to 2026. Okay, I have bills to pay, I have a life to live, and I've been a resident of the Mount Vernon for 55 years. That means I was born in that hospital August 2nd, 1970. I live no place else but in this town. So for you to go back 30, 40 years and think you could use my past against me when I've been doing everything right that I was doing in this city. And I'm a former district leader. How you doing, Mr. Samuel Rivers? So, your guys know me, and some of you guys might not know me, but I'm Mr. McDowell. So I have a right to feel the way that I feel because I was unfairly treated. You understand what I'm saying? Not only that, when they called me to a council meeting with everybody that was here in the chambers, they denied me that they didn't check the situations to see if I had not witnesses, anybody to confirm me working, having a taxi, which I had two references, and all that. I know my time is up.
Yeah, if you can finalize, go ahead.
What I want to say is that I want this panel right here, this new panel, to deal with this matter because I never wanted to sue my city. I never wanted to sue it, but if I'm forced to do it, I'm forced to do it. But now I'm forced to do it because I fell back in a lot of things such as rent, bills, and all that other stuff when I could have been employed and employing people to work, operate a cab. I could have been operating my cab and I could have had my license. If you're operating off of 1988 and 1989 and laws has changed, then you're violating my constitutional rights. And if an officer like Goldman can go back into my past because he's been working 40 years and then go back and use my past against me when, you're not dealing with Article 23A, how to comply. Again, I didn't lie on the applications. I put everything down in the application, and I paid also to go get fingerprints and everything like that done also in the Bronx to give this paperwork to the department to just, treat me like I was nobody. Like I said, this case has been going on since this thing has been going on since 2023. The lawsuit has been filed since 2024, which went in December 30th, okay, into the law department. The law department haven't called me back since. Nobody answered to me. Everybody's acting like that this don't exist. Behind closed doors, they went and gave somebody else a hack license and a taxi license that was convicted of a felony. So why couldn't I receive one if that should have been the case? I know everything that's been going on. I don't need to speak on names that has been juggling around. Well, if it was me, I would have just gave him the hack license. What are we going to do with Lance? I don't know what we're going to do with Lance. Well, I know what Lance is trying to do. And Lance is trying to retrieve some money that now the city owes me. And, how we're going to work this out and where we go from here. That's all I want to know. And
Okay.
if it's not like me, it's other people out here that's going through other situations, it's just the same as me. But I also know that, I have a certificate of relief for good conduct where I can do anything. And I've been working as a New York State security guard for the last close to
Okay.
30 years.
Thank you, Mr. McDowell. We're gonna let the council persons respond to you right after our last speaker, okay?
Okay, thank
So,
you very
please,
much.
no problem.
All
Thank
right.
you so much. We have Renata Gilbert. Is she online? Oh, here? Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I didn't really prepare anything, but it was an email that I had sent about a month ago, so I'm just gonna read that.
Is the microphone on? Can you speak into the microphone,
Is
please?
that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And this was addressed to Ms. Gleason. Dear Ms. Gleason, I'm writing to ask you for your help regarding the events at Brush Park. At the last meeting, you were present and told us to write to you with any matter requiring your assistance. Another year, and we're still experiencing a repeat of the events and aftermath we were promised would not happen again at Brush Park. The mayor assured us that events held at Brush Park would be different. Vendors and events that had previously broken contract and caused chaos would not be granted permits. However, yesterday's event at Brush Park was one of the worst yet. Attendees were parked irresponsibly, blocking driveways and even fire hydrants. Streets were left littered with trash, clothing, footwear, liquor bottles, and food containers. Promises made by the city officials and mayor regarding monitoring these events have not been upheld. We were assured that these gatherings would be under close surveillance, with particular vendors and events being banned and music decibels being monitored and controlled to prevent disruption to the community. However, none of these promises appear to have been kept. Mount Vernon PD claimed to have had no knowledge of this event. It is vital that the city act now to enforce the regulations and establish for all events at Brush Park. We demand accountability and immediate action to be kept to make that certain future events do not repeat these mistakes. This means denying permits to vendors and events that have not abided by the city regulations, ensuring proper waste management, arrangements are in place, and ensuring adequate police presence to maintain law and order. Bush Park is a shared community space, and it should not become a source of distress and disruption for the residents. The community's well-being and quality of life should be prioritized over chaotic events that leave our neighborhood in disarray and distress. There were individuals partially dressed walking the streets, changing their clothes in front of our houses and using the corners as bathrooms. The school surroundings were covered with trash, liquor bottles, undergarments, and numerous pair of footwears lined the sidewalks. This is our neighborhood, our homes where we would enjoy being outside on Memorial Day. We are urging our city officials, including the mayor, to fulfill their promises and make the neighborhoods in Mount Vernon a better place for all. We demand immediate enforcement of all regulations, improved monitoring, and responsible hosting of events at Brush Park so we can all enjoy our community in peace. There are a few more events that are very similar to yesterday's. Must we ensure more of this? Thank you for your time and attention to the matter. Thank you all.
Thank you. Samuel Rivers.
Samuel Rivers, 30 Rockledge Avenue. Good evening, City Council members. I'm here tonight as a resident. I want to address the condition of our streets and ask some simple questions that deserve very clear answers. First, I want to discuss my neighborhood, Kingsbridge Gardens. In December, Con Edison ripped up all the streets and they put concrete. The whole neighborhood is still torn up. I commented on one of the mayor's Facebook posts. Caitlin chimed in, says that DPW will look into it. 2 months later, nothing happened. And this is a problem only in Mount Vernon, where Con Ed can come in here. I don't know if they're making deals with the elected officials where we have our streets just chopped up. You go to Pelham, they finished the job on Friday. On Monday, their streets are paved curb to curb. And it's just ridiculous here. I don't understand that how they could get away with this. They pay the police officers gazillion dollars for overtime. It's just something that's not adding up. These streets need to be, paved. And I expect you guys to crack the whip. DPW, in my opinion, this is the worst I've ever seen it. I didn't think it could get worse than under the Thomas administration, but somehow, it took the cake. Another concern, we've been paving these streets, paving First Street from 241st to the to the bridge, from Fifth Avenue to Kingsbridge, from First Street. And if someone looked at these streets, are we getting inferior blacktop? You look at the blacktop, it's all uneven. And this has been like a year and a half. So I want to know, are we, the contractors, diluting, I don't know if that's a term, diluting our asphalt? There's no reason. I drive through Pelham, smooth. We just paved Fifth Avenue and it's already broken up during Con Ed and hasn't been paved back. You know, someone needs to hold the Con Edison accountable, or we need to stop giving them street opening permits to perform this work until they hold up their obligation. It's very simple. Do not grant them a street opening permit until they uphold their obligation to streets. I believe racism is at play here. They will never do this in New Rochelle. They will never do this in Pelham. They'll never do this in Bronxville. But here in Mount Vernon, everyone seems to get away with everything, and it has to stop. You know, this is what you guys were elected to hold these people accountable, and us residents and taxpayers are going to hold you guys accountable. And hopefully this is my last meeting coming here to complain about this. I do not have time to sit and hear your responses, but I will watch the video online and hear responses. Have a good evening.
All right. Evelyn Torres.
Hi, can everyone hear me well?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, good evening. My name is Evelyn Torres. I'm a Mount Vernon homeowner, taxpayer, and mom. I'm here tonight with one central question. What are Mount Vernon residents actually receiving in return for everything we are being asked to absorb? We pay high property taxes. We deal with damaged roads, litter, traffic, large.
Can you make sure you speak into the microphone?
I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, so,
Just make sure the microphone is in front of your mouth as you're speaking so they can hear you.
got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
We deal with damaged roads, litter, traffic, large trucks, and disruptions in our neighborhoods. At the same time, many residents struggle to see how the money and business activity in this city are improving our daily lives. My concerns fall into three areas: quality of life, taxes and business development, and opportunities for our children. First, I want to address quality of life. Residents near Brush Park are expected to deal with noise, traffic, parking problems, and other disruptions when promoters are allowed to hold large parties in a residential neighborhood. Film productions and other private uses of our streets can also cause road closures, traffic, and inconvenience for the people who live there. I'm not saying that Mount Vernon should never host events or film productions. I am asking how residents benefit from them. What fees does the city collect? Where does that money go? How are residents notified? Who is responsible for cleanup, traffic control, security, and damage? The city should not keep renting out access to our parks, streets, and neighborhoods while asking residents to simply accept the disruption. The people who live here pay taxes here, maintain homes here, and raise families here. We must come first. Our peace and quality of life should not be treated as less important than outside revenue. My second concern is taxes and business development. Mount Vernon has major retailers, warehouses, factories, food and beverage businesses, building and construction companies, and other commercial properties. These businesses bring jobs and economic activity, but they also bring 18-wheelers, congestion, pollution, road damage, and added pressure on city services. I support responsible business development, but residents deserve to know whether these businesses are contributing enough to cover the impact they have on our community. How much are large commercial properties paying in city and school taxes? How much is reduced through tax breaks, exemptions, or tax deals known as pilot agreements? How many jobs were promised to Mount Vernon residents and how many were actually created? Are these businesses meeting the promises they made when they received public benefits? There is also the issue of unpaid property taxes. I understand that some homeowners may experience real hardship and reasonable payment plans may be necessary, but residents deserve to know how much is owed by old homeowners, landlords, business, and commercial property owners. Are penalties being applied fairly? How long are these taxes allowed to remain unpaid? What is the city doing to collect them? Unpaid taxes do not make the cost of running the city disappear. Garbage still has to be collected, roads still need to be repaired, police, fire, sanitation, and other services still have to be funded. So how is the gap being covered? Are repairs being delayed? Are services being reduced? Is the city borrowing money? Are the people who pay their taxes on time being asked to carry even more? Responsible taxpayers should not become the city's financial backstop. When I look at wealthier neighboring communities, I understand that each municipality is different, but residents in many of those communities can clearly see where their taxes, what their taxes provide. Maintain roads, clean neighborhoods, recreation, strong services, and opportunities for children. Mount Vernon residents deserve to see the same clear return. I had one more concern, but I don't think I'm gonna have the time. So that's about it for now.
Yeah, you had, finish it.
One more.
Yeah, finalize it. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. My third concern is youth development. We congratulated and acknowledge, well, they're gone now, but the Youth Bureau and how it impacted the children in our community. My oldest girls, they participated in the Youth Bureau and other programs, and they definitely benefited from them. The city already spends money on youth programs through the Youth Bureau, Recreation Department, grants, staff, and community partnership. The city and school district have separate budgets and separate responsibilities. I understand that. But separate should not mean disconnected. I am asking the council to identify which city funds, grants, staff, contracts, and partnerships can legally be used with the school district so more enrichment can take place inside our schools. During the school days when appropriate or immediately after dismissal. Children should not have to travel across the city to access programs provided by city grants such as mentorship, arts, athletic, technology, financial literacy, conflict resolution, and mental health support when they are already inside school buildings every day. Bringing more programs into schools will make them easier to reach. It would help working parents reduce transportation problems and give more children a fair chance to participate and benefit from them. Tonight, I am asking the council to take 3 actions. First, provide a public report showing that what the city collects from major events, film productions, permits, and other private uses of public spaces, and how does our municipality benefit from them. Second, provide a yearly public report on major commercial properties, pilot agreements, tax breaks, and unpaid property taxes. Residents should be able to see what is owed. One more page. What is collected, what is forgiven, what benefits were promised, and whether those promises are being kept. That review should also include truck routes, road damage, traffic enforcement, and whether businesses creating heavy commercial traffic should contribute more towards street repairs and neighborhood improvements. Third and last, bring together the Youth Bureau, Recreation Department, School District, Public Library, Finance Department, and community organizations to create a plan for bringing more city-funded youth programs directly into the schools. That plan should explain what programs exist, who they serve, how families apply, how many spaces are available, how children are selected, and how many are turned away. Economic development should not be measured only by whether a business opens. It should be measured by whether the residents are better off because it's here. Youth programming should not be measured only by whether a program exists. It should be measured by whether children can actually reach it and participate and benefit from it. Mount Vernon residents invest in this city. It is time for the city's money, policies, and priorities to clearly invest in us. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Elkins, did you call the clerk's office? Councilpersons, would you allow Ms. Elkins to speak? I know she called me earlier. I gave her the number to call in. Is that all right, councilpersons? Yes? Come on up to the mic, Ms. Elkins. State your name and address for the record, and you have 4 minutes.
Hello, guys. My name is Tahana Jessame Elkins. I live 209 Franklin Avenue. I'm a resident of the city of Mount Vernon all my life. I've lived in
209 Franklin Avenue for 9 years. Three owners next door, the mechanic shop, has owned it since I've been there. The first one, we had a problem. I came here for the meeting, it was handled. The second one came, he left. New owners are there. They're parking on the sidewalk, blocking my entrance of me to exit and enter the house. Not only that, they're towing disabled vehicles to my location, which my block is already cut off because Fulton Avenue is blocked off. So cars come over there. There's limited parking. These guys are towing cars that does not work. And I have videos, pictures, because I have meta glasses and I record it. I watch them do it over and over, day after day. I work 9 to 5. I don't have parking. I'm parking at Edward Williams. I'm parking at the train station. 5 blocks, 4 blocks away from my home because I have business owners leaving disabled vehicles that's not working on the block, 13 and 14 vehicles. People in my building are looking to me to speak that, hey, are you gonna go to the meeting? Although we all can do it, I am a very active person with the community and I don't have a problem with coming and speaking about it. But the problem I'm having also is that they're not, the owners aren't trying to hear or even talk to me. They're pretty rude and disrespectful. I called Mount Vernon Police Department and, I was met with answers like, we can't do anything. After I showed pictures and video of the car blocking the entrance of my building. I'm not talking about feet away. I'm talking about I can't run straight out. It's blocking me around where it could be an emergency. I can't get out. Also, the ambulance was blocked in the other day, have video of it. They're towing a non-working vehicle. The traffic is backed up all the way to West Hab because they're towing a vehicle to this location. And again, blocking and stopping the residents of Franklin Avenue, which is a bit unfair. Again, they leave these vehicles overnight, sitting there, 13, 14, and they're Audis, BMWs, and Mercedes. So they're all foreign cars, and I'm aware of the cars. Tickets has been posted on their vehicles, and again, they're just leaving it. They're leaving it there. The tickets are staying on the car. All of it's still happening. Nothing's being addressed. So that's why I'm here. Thank you for your time, and I hope you guys can help me with this.
Okay. Thank you so much. Hold on 1 second. Also, there's another gentleman, if the council would oblige with that. He was here the last meeting. Okay. If the council would allow him to speak, okay. But, going forward, we just want to make sure that everyone knows when you want to speak at the council meetings, you got to call the day of the meeting before 3 p.m. If you call after 3, your name doesn't make the list, but we do want to hear from you. Come on up, state your name, and address for the record, and you have 4 minutes. Thank you so much for being here.
First of all, thank you for letting me speak tonight. I have 2 issues I just want to bring to your attention. The first,
Give your
can you hear
name and
me?
address for the
Oh,
record.
my name is Kenneth Miller, 44 St. Paul's Place.
Mhm.
2 issues I want to bring to your attention. The first is a old issue, and Ms. Gleason is very familiar with that. And matter of fact, she was very instrumental in getting that situation stopped. But 64 St. Paul's Place, in my opinion, is throwing after hour parties early Sunday morning, from anywhere from 3:30 in the morning to 8. We have people coming and going, a lot of traffic on the block, the car radios, loud voices. As the weather's getting warmer, they're starting to congregate a little bit outside of the house. When I leave to go to work in the mornings, I can still, oh, I'm sorry.
64 St. Paul's Place.
Okay. I can still, hear the people coming and going. My thing is what's the problem in determining that this is an after-hours spot? Because if I put myself in his position, if I'm having people come at my house 3:45 to 8 in the morning, I have to be generating some type of income. There's Heineken bottles being left, red cups, plates on the street, but just the traffic from that hour of the morning is ridiculous. This was crazy. so I'm just saying,
And what time did it start?
it starts at 4 o'clock, about 3:30 to 8 in the morning.
In the afternoon?
In the morning,
In
after
the
hours is
morning.
in the morning.
Early Sunday morning, and it's a constant coming and going, loud car music, loud voices. So I just would like to bring that to your attention so someone can look into that again. My second issue is me and my wife been trying to get these 2 trees in front of our house pruned. I have pictures. I'm thinking about getting an arborist because I think the trees are dying or something like that. But in windy days, there's big pieces of bark falling. I have pictures on my phone. We went to DPW yesterday and we seem to be getting a little runaround. I actually saw the truck out there up the block cutting some other trees. I asked him, gave him the information. He's like, yeah, we'd be over there. But if I show you the pictures of the branches that are falling, they're big branches, and we have a couple of them that's still loose. And windy days, somebody's gonna get hurt. I'm not worried about my car so much, but somebody's gonna get hurt if I show you what's falling off of these trees. And it's been about 3-4 months. I called DPW a couple of times, and no one is, responding. And so, and they're messing with the power lines. They're all over the power lines, and that can cause a problem. So we would just like the trees pruned, but someone really needs to come over there because there are a couple of big pieces that if they hit somebody, it's gonna be a problem. My address is 44 St. Paul's Place, and they're the only 2 trees on the block, like in the middle of the block. So if you could bring that to someone's attention and, have them address that as soon as possible, we would really appreciate that.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
again, thank you for letting me speak and appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, now, that was all of our speakers. So now we're gonna have responses from our council persons. And we'll start with, go ahead, Gleason.
Okay, I'm gonna go backwards. So I've notified everybody, Mr. Miller, let's see, I've notified the PD regarding the parties. I've also notified, DPW regarding, the trees and also letting them know about the garbage and the time of the parties so that maybe they, come the next day and clean that up. So I just want to let you know, I was hoping that that was not going to continue to take place, but I think they're just testing the waters, right? So PD already been notified of it. Ms. Gilbert, yes, I was at the meeting when the mayor promised that those type of parties would not be taking place. Did you say that you emailed me? Because I did not get an email. Can you come to the podium? I can't hear you.
Yes, I emailed you and I think is City Help is the email address.
Okay, so
Along with recreation, and I got your email off the website. Also, I did call in to verify that it was correct.
Okay, so sometimes I don't get people's emails for some reason, and I just did a search and I don't have the email. So, but what I will say is, and I think this is really important for everybody to understand, not only, yes, you can sit down. Not only should you come to council and notify us, we also need you to email the administration to also give them an opportunity and also to create a paper trail, right? And I'm sorry? Email the administration, depending on what department it is, recreation, which is great. I'm glad that you did that, right? Because now I'm gonna go back and ask and say, this is a concern for the community. What are we doing about this, right? So I'm very familiar with your area. I stay in great touch with Mr. Bunch. I will stay on top of it and I will get you guys some answers and maybe we can all come together again and sit down and have a conversation because I understand how passionate everybody was at that meeting. And so I'm on top of that.
Comment about, because that was part of one of mine, where after that everybody speaks.
Well, right now,
Right. But we could take, like, after the commentary, we'll take like maybe a 2-minute break and we'll speak offline. Also want to introduce you guys to Antoinette Anderson. She is our legislative assistant, but she's also here every day. She's got an email address that is aanderson@mountVernonNewYork.com. Mount Vernon is spelled out. And .gov, sorry, .gov. I forgot, we're no longer .comming anymore. But like if you don't get a response from one of us, you can always email Antoinette. I don't have access to my email during the day because we have day jobs, some of us, right? So, Lance, it's good to see you. And it's good to see that you're advocating for yourself. As soon as I saw your name on the speaker list, I called Francine Rosato and said, give me the background of what's going on. But I want everybody to know that I've known Lance since, I don't know, my early 20s. And I know Lance because Lance and his brothers, while my brother was a police officer, used to get into trouble, right? But to see what you've accomplished to this day and to have that good guy letter, I'm very proud of you. I really am. I don't want your interaction to discourage you in any way. I'm not so sure if we could speak any further on the situation if you have a standing case with the city. But I will say that I'm going to look into it. And like I said, I already spoke to Francine. I got in the background, some of the background of everything. I am a firm believer that people should have second chances, no matter what's in people's background. So I'm gonna investigate it. I've got all your information. What I would like you to do is to please give Ms. Anderson your email address, because it's much easier for me to communicate via email. Rather, if I have to contact you for any further information. Let's see what else we have. Mr. Rivers, I understand that Rockledge will be being paved in the next couple of weeks. I do agree with you. We got to hold Con Ed accountable when they do work within the community. I do know that other communities get stuff done a lot quicker, but I could tell you that our DPW is on top of it and making them accountable. Ms. Torres. I could never answer all your questions in your speech. So what I would ask you to do is, if you don't mind, to email us a copy of that, and so that we can basically, go line by line and at least answer what we can answer and maybe get answers from other departments. I could tell you a couple things. The city is actively going after people who are not paying their taxes. We've also implemented what's the word I'm looking for? Amnesty for to make it easier on people to pay their taxes. We've also put into place partial payments, which we haven't had in the past, where people are expected to pay the whole amount of money at the time it's due. Basically, some people can't sometimes. Sometimes, the tax bill comes right after the winter and you've had a terrible winter and you're paying all this fuel, right? So we've implemented that several times. The comptroller's office is actively going after people who have not paid their taxes. City-owned property has been put up for auction. I believe it's been twice. We got a little bit of money in from that. And some of the other things that you had said, I'm going to let some of the other councilmen address. Again, the quality of life is a very big deal for me also. We all live here. I don't want to walk out of my house and see garbage because of something that the city had partaken in and those people are being held accountable for that. And the cost of it. I've spoke to DPW about that. Also, when we have other area events, that when outside people come in, that we hopefully potentially can charge them a garbage fee for cleanup that actually covers our cost if we have to go in there. So that's in the beginning stages. Let's see.
One comment about
The
that.
grant,
The area that we live in.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
One comment about that, the area that we live in Brush Park, it has two schools. It has really close to it.
Yeah.
Benjamin Turner and Rebecca Turner. And a lot of us, the community at large has small kids. So when these people come, they're like half naked or,
No,
we don't need to
so-
see that.
Okay, I need you to sit down just one sec. When these things, I want to encourage you again. When these things happen, I want you to email the administration. Everything is on cmvny.com. That's definitely a .com. Okay, and all the email addresses, if you don't get an answer or a correspondence back from the administration, by all means, contact us also, right? But I also want to make sure that the complaints are not just coming here, that they are going to the administration. And Mrs. Elking. And just a yes or no? Are those cars, they're taking up parking spaces and they're on sidewalks? Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, I'll make sure that the police department knows about it and does the violations or warnings. And I'm gonna notify Department of Buildings also and see if there's anything that they could do, okay? Thank- Lance, can you come to the microphone? Thank you. And only, we don't normally, just so you know, we don't normally do this, but
Yeah.
Okay, I
Okay.
understand what she's saying because on Franklin Avenue also, they go to the auctions and they get these cars and they got temporary plates that they're not registered. So you probably have like 10 to 15 cars parked on the block, taking up spaces and stuff like that. And the new foreign car place down on Franklin and Third Street, it's just crazy. It's no parking spaces for nobody.
yeah, I had heard about that from another resident when I just saw them this weekend, so I'm already aware of it. Yep, you know exactly. Yep. I know. All right, thank you so much. That's it with my comments.
Thank you. Attorney Jones?
So, good evening, everyone. Caitlin answered all the, Evelyn Torres, I have here that I need you to please email your letter. That's what I have written down here. I want to thank you about the suggestion and the understanding about youth development, about it all coming together as one, because it's extremely important that we start doing that here in Mount Vernon. And I want to retract that we start doing that here in Mount Vernon. We may have already been doing that here in Mount Vernon, but it needs to be louder, right? And it needs to be understood, and that communication needs to be generated through Mount Vernon in the aspects of the Youth Bureau partnering with the City of Mount Vernon School District. And how does that look? So we need that information because I know that it does take place. Yeah, I like that. So make sure that you email your letter. Elkins, I'm gonna do a drive by there also. I want to see 209 Franklin Avenue. Take some pictures. Pictures don't lie. Thank you, Sam Rivers, for what you stated in the aspects of Con Edison, making sure that they have some kind of timeline on when they dig up our grounds and just leave it there. There should be something in place in the aspects of that. I think that Con Edison is also on Fifth, around the corner from where I live, and it's a bumpy road. It's been like that for a while. So, what is the life and death of their projects? Gilbert, the music being monitored, what is the procedures? Thank you for that question. The procedures are very important as to how do we go about having an event and how much money are we receiving? That's what Torres said. The money, cash rules everything around me. Cream get the money, dollar bill, y'all. Brother Lance, I'm not sure about the deafness of what is taking place, and I was looking up Article 23A as you stipulated. What I don't see is any dates on the article. The article is not stipulating after a year, after 2 years, after 10 years. It's just a stipulation as to why there is a denial, but it's not giving some more information in the aspects of that. So there have to be some in-depthness to that. And I know that Ms. Gleason said something about that. You want to say, you want to say something?
Article 23A was, it's like a law, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And you will have to pull up the law, Article 23.
I did.
How to comply. And it's written down that, you know what I'm saying, it was meant for people who had felonies or had extensive long time of felonies.
Right, but it
Give them
doesn't give a date.
chances.
It doesn't say in the article, it does not stipulate that if it was done in 1951, that after 30 years or after 20 years or after 10 years, it doesn't state that. It
Okay.
just have the statement and that's it.
Oh, I have just have the statement.
No. I'm just telling you what the article says after what I read. So I will have to go through some more in-depthness to see
Yes.
if there's a date on there. And like what Caitlin said, that, you know, second chances does mean a lot. And so I know you mentioned the
What do you
the
mean by date?
charter.
What do you mean by date, Cynthia? I was
On when you're looking at the Article 23A, it's just stating exactly what happens when you receive a denial.
Oh.
Right? And why.
Okay.
The reasons why. And then that's it. So I don't know what his letter says. I don't know what the charter
You
says.
dealing, if you was dealing with, excuse me for cutting you short, if you're dealing with Article 23A, it was about really hiring ex-felons or felonies and getting tax write-offs and all them things, giving people chances to go and continue in further life and go further in life. Now, what I was saying, I have a certificate of relief for disability, which is certificate of good conduct. And there is stipulations on that certificate of relief of good conduct is what you can't do, which is run for public office and possess a firearm. It does not say I cannot drive a cab. I cannot operate, have a hack license. It don't say that I can't work at certain places. It says that I cannot possess a firearm or run for city office. But that was when I received that I received that in 2003. If I was to appeal that now, I'm quite sure that I can fight and get even those privileges right.
Yeah.
Privileges back.
Yeah.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I do. I understand where you're coming from. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
All right, thank you.
Kenneth Miller. Where's Kenneth? You right there. I don't have my glasses on. I just want y'all to know that. So when y'all see me, I can't read with them, and I need to take the glasses off to put them on. Here I am. So Kenneth, just want to make sure that we have the clear addresses, everyone. So we have 64 St. Paul's Place. Right? That's where the party at. I got it. I got it down here. 64 St. Paul's Place, 4 a.m. Okay, 4 a.m. 64 St. Paul's Place. The tree that is not respectful to you is 44 St. Paul's Place. All right. Thank you.
Mr. President, can I, I forgot.
We're
the-
gonna charge you for extra
I
statements.
know, I
Go
forgot.
ahead.
Okay, just so you know, I've notified them of the tree issue. Some of the trees, but I haven't, some of the trees have been given to Con Ed if they're growing into the wires for them to take care of. But our DPW will be by there and they will review it. Yeah.
Okay. We don't want to really get everybody in the habit of the back and forth, because usually y'all say y'all split and then the council persons rebuttal, and if they respond, and then if y'all have anything else, y'all usually give it over to our legislative aid, and then we'll make sure that we hash everything out. Otherwise, it'll be a continuum that we really can't do. I'm sorry. You finished, Gleason? Okay, thank you. Wallace? Or Javon want to go? Go ahead, Javon.
Wallace has given me his time. So
Wonderful.
I'm gonna be very long. No, a lot of this was already covered. So Miss Elkins, I'm saying that right? Is Elkins? Okay. Yeah. Clearly we can't do work on the street, you know, mechanic work or anything like that. And Councilwoman Gleason and I just yesterday we got a good education about abandoned cars. It's a similar problem, different neighborhood. And we spoke with the deputy chief, and they plan on enforcing that heavily. And I think someone stated that these cars don't even have registrations, so that would qualify as an abandoned car. So we're definitely gonna have them look into that, and that area specifically to enforce it, because that's definitely an enforcement issue. Next one, Miss Gilbert. I think they spoke on that extensively with the parties and such at Brush Park. I didn't want to repeat that. Similar, Mr. Miller, I think your issue was being addressed with several council people. Let me ask you, were they even good neighbors to invite you to the parties? Did they even say, hey? I'm just kidding, but yeah, that we're gonna definitely try to enforce that one. I think Miss Torres, like everyone said, there was a lot provided, so yeah, an email, and we'll have each issue. And some of them were actually directed to towards the controller's office, though. The ones about the unpaid taxes, I think that information is readily available. What the unpaid taxes are, what remains uncollected versus who's on a payment plan. That's all public information. You can readily get that from the controller's office, as well as the fees charged by each event. You can get that from Recreation as well, so that should be readily available.
Remember,
You like how it's specifically applied to your I mean, it's like all revenue goes into the general fund. It's all used to lower taxes to cover expenses by the city. So it's all pulled together. So I mean, we try to raise money in every department, from police to the youth bureau to recreation. You know, so every little counts. So, but yeah, so some of the events, they do bring in significant sources of revenue, but substantial sources of revenue. So, but that information is available for the exact numbers if you inquire. Sam Rivers, I know he spoke about Con Ed. It's a kind of a very specific issue. So with that neighborhood, definitely going to look into it. If you could, even when you guys come, you can send us an email ahead of time. We can inquire about that specific issue to speak to it. So, but yeah, we're definitely going to look into that as well. And did I leave anyone off? Lance McDowell. Yep. Thank you for coming. Thank you for speaking with us. I do not know, I wasn't here in 2023 about that issue, but it, like Caitlin stated, it is very difficult to speak on that. If you are, you know, actively suing the city, obviously I couldn't advise you on your lawsuit on the city. I said, obviously I couldn't advise you on your lawsuit against the city, but we definitely look into why you haven't gotten this license, and if there's anything that we can do to push it along if you're eligible. So thank you. I think that's all my comments.
thank you, Wallace.
Thank you. I'm gonna go in the order in which I've written all of this stuff down to comment. So bear with me. I'm gonna actually start with Miss Elkin. Okay, I understand the cars that are being towed, or the cars that are being brought in the neighborhood, you said have no license plates, have no thing. First of all, cars should not be on the street if they do not have a license plate registration. That is the law. When I was in the council 10 years ago, one of the first things I did was bought this city a tow truck for these exact reasons. I trained with the legislation 5 officers to drive those tow trucks. That tow truck have never left the parking garage across the street. 10 years later, I'm back and I'm trying to figure out why. Why are these things not being done? Why are these cars not being towed? They should not be on the street, on the sidewalk. The mechanic, if he doesn't have a lot to put these things in, that's not the city and the residents' problem. When you open a business, you have to plan that business. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And right now, either we're going to tow those cars, Councilwoman Gleason, which I know you're going to be on top of this as well, and everybody else, or we're going to boot those cars. But either way, they do not belong on our streets if they are not registered. That is the law. When I bought that tow truck 10 years ago, New York City was making $927 million a year towing trucks and cars off the street. I was hoping that we would make at least 10 million. by towing these vehicles. And this is what needs to happen, because I keep saying the same thing. They would not do this in any other neighborhood. It is acceptable here because we keep accepting it. And it will continue to be that way until we stop accepting it. And I believe we need to stop accepting it like immediately. So I'm going to look into that with the rest of the council. I'm sure we'll get on top of that. And we're going to figure out a way to get those cars off the street immediately. If they do not have registration tags, they should not be on the street. So we'll work on that. Kevin Miller, Kenneth Miller, sorry. The after hours spot on your block next door to your house. That's unacceptable, but I'm going to leave that to Councilwoman Gleason. I will back her up on that and work with her because she has already been taking care of this situation. And another thing is she's already set a lot of the groundwork, but sometimes when people think you're not watching, they go back to it because nobody's paying attention. And it's a habit here in Mount Vernon. We continue to do these things and allow this to happen, and then it becomes normalized. So we have to break that before it continues. So I will be there with Councilwoman Gleason. I'm sure Councilwoman Jones is going to be on top of things, but I know she already did the tree and everything else. So, but we will be there to back her up on that and make sure the quality of life is respected. Mr. McDowell, we have been working on this situation and with the law department, and I understand the 23A very well. Of course, along with the 160.57 Clean Slate Act that was passed through the government through the governor's office for the state. So we have drafted this. I was hoping that it would be on tonight because what is happening is being unfair. And we know that. There are people that have not received their hack license because they was arrested for marijuana. Marijuana is now legal. And everybody is getting a free dispensary and all kind of stuff because of that, but you can't get a free hack license, or you can't get into it, or you can't even pay for your hack license. It's unacceptable. We can't have it both ways, okay? Doing a crime 40 years ago and paying your time and doing what I thought when you go to prison or whatever happens, people become rehabilitated. They're able to come back out. They paid their time. They did their dues. And they've been doing all the things correctly in life, but we shut them out. And I remember Ernie Davis used to say this all the time. If we don't give people a second chance, okay, they're going to go back to robbing people on the street. And it might be you might be the next person they rob because they still need to eat. They still need to live. They still need to have a job. They still need to perform, and they got to keep a roof over their heads. I get it. And I'm always working the second chance programs, and I'm always pushing for those kind of things to make sure that it's done. The legislation should have been done. We've been working on this for quite some time. I spoke to Francine a couple of days ago, and the legal department is on it. I'm hoping that it will be on our next agenda, sir. Okay, it'll be on our next agenda, and I understand what's going on in the police department certain times where I think myself, I'm not going to say, with certain other people should have been passed. So we're going to work on that to make that happen. So that is something I committed to. I told you that I'm committed to it when I came back on the council, and we're going to get it done. Gilbert, with the noise complaint over at Brush Park, we are holding the Jamaican Independence Day celebration, and we're going to be booming. We're going to have a good time, but it's not going to be at Brush Park. I deliberately, when they asked me to do it there, said no, because of the noise complaints. I get it. I understand what you guys are going to. That's why we moved it to downtown Mount Vernon parking lot 11 to avoid the noise and all of that stuff. And I told everybody else, don't come respectable, because this is a family celebration and the independence type of thing. We're not doing that. As far as where the money is going, I'm for those parties over there, I'm still curious myself of how much, and I look forward to I think that'll fall under Councilman Box Hill's preview to find out, and Councilwoman Turnquest Jones, because she handles human resources and she handles those parks and all. So we can find out how much money they're making, what's going on with these things anyway, because we don't know. I don't know. So that's a good thing to figure out. And that leads me right into the next person, which is Evelyn Torres. And just so you know, it is Evelyn, right? Okay. Just so you know, we will be working and looking into those noise complaints on how we can do things better with these parties so that everybody in the neighborhood is not disturbed, because you deserve a quality of life as well. That is why you paid for your house and you pay all these taxes that are high. So I get that, and we will be looking into that. Ms. Torres, whoo, you had a lot, but let me tell you something, Ms. Torres. I've been saying this for years. I really don't know where our tax dollars is going. And the way I look at this whole thing right now, Mount Vernon pays the highest taxes in the United States, and we don't get nothing for it. Per capita, we are the highest taxed in Westchester. Westchester is the highest taxed per capita in the country. And I can't understand where the money's going and why we look like this. Going all across the board, we can look at all of the surrounding communities. None of the communities look like this. I get it. With all the tax dollars, I don't see the programs we should be having. I don't see all of the streets being paved. Let me tell you something. With how things are, we can't tax our way out of this. And some folks think that we can tax our way out of this, and they keep on raising taxes year after year after year. I'm not a person to vote for raising and increasing tax. And I'm going to say it, they're mad at me right now because I'm against the commuter tax, because I don't understand how you're going to tax people when you made the taxes here so high so that when they go and buy outside because they could only afford something someplace else, now you're going to tax them for not living here? We got to figure it out. The way you do it is by economic development. We need to have it, because everything you do in Mount Vernon, you have to do outside, pretty much. You want to go to the movies, you're going somewhere else. You want to go to a nice restaurant, you're going somewhere else. You know, it's always something or someplace else we have to go. So that is hopefully is going to change by people focusing on what is really needed in Mount Vernon. We did a study when I was here 10 years ago in 2017, and it showed that Harvard study that at that time, we're talking about 10 years ago, $396 million is spent outside of Mount Vernon each year by people who live in Mount Vernon. Just imagine if we had something here where they can capture, let's say 25% of that. That's $100 million in revenue brought into here. But if we continue to tax people and put these taxes on top of taxes and tax on top of that tax, I'm telling you the truth. People are going to lose their homes. They're already losing their homes. They're already going underwater. And we can say we want to have an amnesty, do all these different things for those people. How are you going to pay a tax when you don't have the money? Because you raised it too much. They can't afford this. Grandma can't afford it. There are other people here that are from living week to week, you know, that are one paycheck away from being homeless. And you want them to contribute more. No, why don't we figure out how to create business and revenue that creates jobs and good livable jobs in the community that will bring the money that we need to offset all of these things. You cannot keep going to the people with tax increases for your money. I'm telling you right now, we are already on the verge of bankruptcy. I've said that before. I know what the numbers are. I look at these things all the time, and I look at economic reports on cities and states all around the country, and I compare these things. I'm not trying to scare y'all, but we are in trouble. We are in big trouble, and I'm trying my best. Oh, I wouldn't even say trying because that's not a good word. I am holding back on telling people how bad it is. But girlfriend, it's really bad. Yeah. Right.
We have to,
We're working now just to pay taxes. That's how sad it is in this community. But there is a better way. And hopefully that way will come soon because people need to reset their thinking in Mount Vernon on how we approach the future. Because if we don't, we will fail badly. Okay, so I know that for a fact. And looking at what else you had? I see you put in here, you were talking about infrastructures and pilots and all of that kind of things. I get that as well. And I voted against pilots already. I'm not really for those pilots because it has failed us over time and it has caused us to fall into more of the disarray that we're in. Because I'm not going to point out the buildings, but some of the buildings here pay less taxes than me. And they have hundreds of apartments in it. And I just don't know how this is supposed to work and how it balances because it's been a poor way of doing pilots over the years. And I keep telling people as we do these things and build these homes and houses and apartments and all, you're bringing more people in here. And you're bringing people in here without services. So whatever service, I always break it down to everybody. If you have $1 and we brought in somebody else, you now have 50 cents because that person gets 50 cents. And then you brought somebody else, and now you got 33 cents. And somebody else, you have 25 cents of services because nothing on the other side is changing. Nothing is growing on the economic side to fund this. So we have to be mindful of how we do that. All we're doing is creating more and more customers for our surrounding community. So it was about 400 million 10 years ago. It's probably about 450 or 500 million being spent outside of Mount Vernon, feeding our surrounding communities. I know they love us, but that's a big problem, and we will continue to have conversations about that because we need to have the hard conversations. And I keep saying the same thing, when it comes down to it, not everything we face can be solved, but nothing could be solved unless we face it. It's time to have the real conversations and the real talks about what's really going on and how we grow. And Mr. Rivers, who left, that is a department by our Councilwoman Gleason, who has made those phone calls already. She said that the paving will start probably in a couple of weeks or so. And I will just leave it up to her because she is the chair of DPW, so I'm sure she'll make sure that gets done. And she's always on top of those things. So I leave it to her. And that is everyone. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you all for coming out.
Thank you so much, councilpersons, for responding. I will say councilpersons did address most of the things, and the city is doing its very best to ensure that we are taking care of our residents. I always say we're not perfect, but we are productive. So we don't want anyone to ever feel like they're being ignored. We do work on these things diligently, day in and day out. We will be having our councilpersons reach out to our commissioners about the trees and the pruning, and as well as the noise and the events that go on and things of that nature. Also, these events are posted as they're coming forth as well. So we want to make sure that we're doing the very best by our residents as well. But at no time is it acceptable for anyone to block anyone's driveway and or hydrants or anything like that. Most of the money that generally all of the money that comes in from all of these events hits the bottom line to work for the city, whether it's purchasing vehicles and things of that nature or utilization for city things. Because like I always tell people, in a city like Mount Vernon, we're different than most communities. Our taxes are high because most communities our size have maybe 4 or 5 schools. We had 16, now we have 13. So that's the bulk of our taxes. When you look at your taxes, more than 60 cents on the dollar goes to the school district. The city actually operates off 25 cents. And then 13 cents of that dollar goes to the county. So it's broken up like that. So it's just understanding how the taxes are divvied out and how they're utilized in the city. So I would encourage people to speak with the mayor during those town halls because you get a lot of information. She has town halls that are going on throughout the city every month, so make sure you get that. It's on the website. I encourage you to engage in those town halls and make sure you get the facts about how our tax dollars are being utilized. I know our streets are not perfect, but in the last couple of years, we've actually paved more than 100 miles of road in the city of Mount Vernon. So what happens is Con Ed actually has to work with the city in order to open these streets because when Con Ed gets the permit to open the roads, while the road is open, then DPW goes down and fix what they need to fix as well. So then you can pave once you close it up curb to curb. But one of the unfortunate things about Mount Vernon is we're not California, right? We have 4 seasons. So we had a horrible winter this winter, and we all know as it gets cold outside and salting the pavement and constantly using plows to plow up the ice and the snow and things of that nature, you can cause roads to crumble. So some of our newer roads are crumbling in certain areas due to the harsh weather. So we just have to be mindful of that as well. But partnering together, residents as well as elected officials, it's appreciative when you bring these issues to the council because DPW is just not standing on the corners looking to say, did something fall, did something happen, or whatever. They get most of the information from their foremen, just they go out, but they get most of their information from the residents. They would not know a tree branches were falling on your property unless you called in to the clerk's office or DPW, or you came into a meeting like this, and then we make sure we give them the address for them to go look at this, right? I'm one of the council persons that drive the city every single day. And I look for some of the issues that are out there and I immediately call and or email our commissioners just so they're abreast of what's going on. It's not perfect, but it is productive. So I guarantee you that our commissioners are working on your best behalf. In regards to our youth programs, we have a plethora of youth programs through the Youth Bureau and through Recreation. We have to be mindful of making sure that our children show up to these events. We have them for our seasoned citizens as well. People say senior citizens, but I like to say seasoned citizens. But we have so many programs. Just show up, and those programs are available. We're grateful that the school budget, although the city has nothing to do with the school district, we're grateful that the school budget passed because a lot of these programs that the Youth Bureau do, they utilize the school buildings, right? And making sure that our young people get these free programs. So there's a lot of things going on for our young people. In regards to pilots, the city council in no way, shape, or form has anything to do with pilots. City council does not issue pilots. City council does not weigh in on pilots, right? We can say that comes through the IDA, Industrial Development Agency. We have no say so in who gets a pilot and what gets, but we can speak to whoever will be the IDA director and sort of give them our input for, so to speak, but we don't determine whether a business or anyone is going to get a pallet for anything. That's not a part of the city council's jurisdiction. But we do want to protect our quality of life here in Mount Vernon, so we're doing the very best we can to ensure that our roads are paved, our streets are safe, and we can only do that by collectively working together. So any issues or concerns that you see, you bring them to us. We converse with our commissioners, and our commissioners work along with the mayor, and then everything falls in line. It's not going to happen overnight because the issues didn't come about overnight. But working collaboratively, we can ensure that our issues are being fixed. I will be going by that house that the after party is being held, because I'm usually up at that hour anyway in the house just working on stuff. So I will, if you can leave our legislative aid your number, because I'm going to call you at the time I'm going by this house, and I'm going to let you know I'm at the house. Because I usually, some people, depending on the culture, and I always say culture because some people just don't know. I gave everyone the benefit of the doubt, right? And some people just don't know wrong from right and things of that nature. And depending on where you're coming from and where you were raised and things of that nature, some people think things are okay. But I always go out and have a conversation with these persons. And I say, listen, this is a courtesy conversation from me. The next person that comes after me will be issuing the citation. You know, so it's just a conversation, just informing people because some people just don't know and others just try to test their luck to see how much they can get away with. So I'm gonna have that conversation with that homeowner or home renter, whoever's in that house, and let them know that my conversation is a courtesy. And after that, the ordinance officer will have a citation if it continues, because that's just unacceptable for any resident to have to go through that, especially those hours of the morning. That's, you know, your house is for living, not having after hour parties and things of that nature. So we will be working together to get some of that done. Okay. So just be patient with us. We are working on your behalf. You know, you can leave your information with our legislative aid, and I will call you, and council persons will reach out to you to make sure that we keep you abreast of the steps that are being taken. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of our speakers participating. We do want to let everyone know that June, there was a lot of observation in the month of June. We had gun violence prevention. We had LGBTQ plus pride. We had men's mental wellness month. We had National Caribbean American Heritage. We had National Immigration Heritage. We had Juneteenth. We had an awesome Juneteenth celebration in Brush Park. And you know, the decibels weren't loud, so I hope you all enjoyed the Juneteenth. We had a great celebration. I want to say thank you to all of our elected officials who pitched in for Juneteenth to happen this year, because it was our first celebration. That was a large celebration. And going forward, we want to make sure that it's celebrated every single year. So that legislation will be modified, if you will, and amended, and it will happen the third Saturday of every June will be our Juneteenth celebration. Want to give a big shout out to Sister Emily, because there was a Juneteenth celebration. I believe it was June 6th that went right here from City Hall to Hartley Park, and they had a celebration there. So, Sister Emily, thank you so much, and looking forward to partnering with you next year to ensure that our parade is larger and well attended, so we can have. We're going to do one Juneteenth celebration next year. So everyone who comes before the council, the recreation department, or the clerk's office, you will be encouraged to partner with the one Juneteenth celebration that we're having. So it'll be big, a massive celebration where people just come together and celebrate. Also, thank you to the recreation department, the Rose Simon workers. They came out, participated, and made sure our children had got their faces painted, had the bouncy house going, had the popcorn and the cotton candy for the children. It was just an awesome event. So thank you, thank you, thank you to Commissioner Walker Pinckney for help getting that in place, and Nigel and the entire Rose Simon team. Thank you so much for coming out. Also like to give a shout out to Mr. Adrian Fernandez because he gave us music and he actually donated his time to give us music for the entire 7.5 hours that we were out there, which was amazing. Thank you to the entire staff of Community who came and volunteered themselves so we didn't have to pay workers to go out there and cook the food. So my sister Drea Gallman, thank you so much, and the entire team. It would take me an hour to name all the names. So the entire team, I will reach out to you all personally. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting the event and making sure that our residents had a wonderful time. With that being said, I hope I didn't leave anyone out. And if I did, please charge it to my head and not my heart, because I don't like to forget people. But we're going to go right into our tally sheet now. And our tally sheet is what we go over on Monday night to see what's going to be on the agenda to actually vote on and what's for information, what's called for and therefore. So our tally sheet, we're going to go right into legislation and public works. Councilwoman Gleason. Oh, but yes, we can take a 2-minute break. So if we need to talk to anyone before, or if anyone needs to use the bathroom, 2-minute break, and then we'll come right back. Make it 3 minutes. So it's 9:04. We'll be back at 7 minutes after 9.
My first child. This is the.
Thank you. Thank you for allowing us to have that little break. We're gonna go right into legislation and public work. Councilwoman Gleason.
Thank you so much. Item number one, management services, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a 12-month Justice AV Solutions classic coverage, extended warranty, preventive maintenance, and support agreement for the City Hall audio visual recording and conferencing systems for the period of May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027 on the agenda. Item number two, management services, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the New York State Office of Information Technology Services and the New York State Division of Homeland Security for emergency services for participation in phase 2 of the endpoint detection and response program at no cost to the city. That is on the agenda. Item number 3, Department of Recreation, an ordinance authorizing the Department of Recreation to co-sponsor the 2026 Back to School Backpack event with Henry Allen and the Buddy White Project, and authorizing related street closures and municipal support services. That's on the agenda. Item number 4, Councilman Andre Wallace, an ordinance authorizing the use of municipal parking lot 11 for the 64th Jamaican Independence Day Festival and authorizing municipal support services. That is on the agenda. That is all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for legislation and public works? No, moving right along. Cynthia Tranquest Jones, Human Resources.
Thank you, President. Item number 5, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Westchester School for Medical and Dental Assistance, LLC, for the payment of tuition costs for a youth employment program participant. That is on the agenda. Item number 6, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with I Am William G. Enterprise, LLC, to provide a fitness and nutrition program for youth participants through the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. That is on the agenda. Item number 7, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Westchester Putnam Workforce Development Board of authorizing the acceptance and appropriation of summer youth employment program funds in the amount of $195,000 for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. That is on the agenda.
Thank you. Any questions for Human Resources? No, moving right along. We don't have anything for public safety and codes. Finance and planning, Boxell.
Yes, I have one item. This is coming from the Assessor's Office, Department of Assessment, an ordinance authorizing the refund of real property taxes for property located at 1 Park Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. This is section 165.63, block in lot 1140, lot 5. This is pursuant to real property tax law, section 556. And again, it's going to be on the agenda.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for finance and planning? No, moving right along. Can we have a roll call for our agenda?
Councilmember Boxill,
Present.
Councilmember Gleason,
Here?
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Here.
Councilmember Wallace,
Here.
Council President Thompson.
Here. Thank you. Legislation and Public Works, Gleason.
Thank you so very much, Mr. President. Item number 1, management services. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute 12-month Justice AV Solutions classic coverage, extended warranty, preventive maintenance, and support agreement for the City Hall audio visual recording and conferencing systems for the period of May 1st, 2026 through April 30th, 2027. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Sorry, Councilmember Boxill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye.
Item number 2, management services, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an intergovernmental agreement with the New York State Office of Information Technology Services and the New York State Division of Homeland Security for and emergency services for participation in Phase 2 of the Endpoint Detection and Response Program at no cost to the city. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye.
Item number 3, Department of Recreation, an ordinance authorizing the Department of Recreation to co-sponsor the 2026 Back to School Backpack Event with Henry Allen and the Buddy White Project, and authorizing related street closures and municipal support services. So moved.
Second.
On the question?
Is there a date for that?
That's the first
I think it's
Saturday in August, which is the
Are you-
first. I believe it is.
Yep, hold on.
Mount Vernon Prowse, the
It's
eighth.
just out with
It's
them this weekend.
It's August 1st.
It's August 1st. No.
See how my memory works?
Pretty good for Omen.
Yeah, that's right.
It's August 1st. Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on the question? Roll call?
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye.
Item number 4, Councilman Andre Wallace, an ordinance authorizing the use of municipal parking lot 11 for the 64th Jamaican Independence Day Festival and authorizing municipal support services. So moved.
Second.
On the question? On the question, just state the date for the record,
Date.
the date of this event.
Au-
So,
Thursday, August 6th.
thank you. Roll call?
Are you co-sponsoring,
Yes.
Councilman Box Hill?
Yes.
All right,
I
great.
am.
Awesome.
Big up to my people.
Are y'all cooking too, or you're just co-sponsoring?
We're not cooking. I think Box Hill might be jerking some
I think
chicken,
you
but I'm
should
not
have-
sure. I can't speak for him.
You should have
Um,
Derek and Adrian.
No, too funny.
You know, we might pull out a grill and ask for you to show up, Derek.
I can't take
can
it.
have that. You can
I
have
think y'all worked me enough at the last event. Roll call?
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye, thank you. Human Resources, Turnquest Jones?
Thank you. Item number 5, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Westchester School of Medical and Dental Assistants, LLC, for the payment of tuition costs for a youth employment program participant. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye.
Item number 6, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with I Am William G. Enterprise, LLC, to provide a fitness and nutrition program for youth participants through the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones,
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace,
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye.
Item number 7, Youth Bureau, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an agreement with the Westchester Putnam Workforce Development Board and authorizing the acceptance and appropriation of summer youth employment program funds in the amount of $195,000 for the Mount Vernon Youth Bureau. So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call?
Councilmember Box Hill,
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason,
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace.
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye. You got it, the last one? Turnquest? That was it? That was it? Okay.
Did I go?
Go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead, Boxell.
May I? Thank
Yes,
you.
finance and planning. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was waiting for guidance from our fearless leader. All right, Department of Assessment. An ordinance authorizing the refund of real property taxes for property located at 1 Park Avenue, Mount Vernon, New York. This is block 1140, lot 5, pursuant to real property tax law, section 556. So moved?
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call.
Councilman Box Hill.
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason.
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace.
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye. That completes our agenda. Do we have any new business or anything else to come before the council? Yes, Gleason?
First and foremost, I just wanted to say, I think you brought up a very good point about like having one Juneteenth event. I think that the city's resources get strained so much by having these pocket parties here and there. And we need to do like also bring the HIV walk in with the health fair and put everything together and maybe create legislation this year for next year where all the health fairs, if we're
Combine
gonna
them.
have it, we're gonna have it at Hartley Park or on the outside here so that everybody could come together and we can have a really successful event. Because going to some of these events and seeing 5 people, unless somebody's, promoting it, it costs the city so much money. And I just think that that was really important, what you said, and even Mount Vernon Proud Day and bringing all those organizations together to come. It's really important because a lot of times we're taking money out of our pockets to supply the food, and to have a really good amount of people there is really important. And that's just all. I think that's what we're gonna have to look into.
Absolutely, because we don't want to be wasteful. Because if you put a lot of money into an event and people don't show up, you're wasting money, right? And we don't want to stretch our resources, our city resources thin. So we're just gonna start itemizing these events and encouraging people to partner. So for instance, the health event, anything in regards to health, we'll encourage everyone to do that one massive event where if everyone has their own tent and tables, this event will be successful. And any event that's going on in the city, we just encourage everyone to partner for that one big event, and you'll get all the resources you need. One person won't have to come out of their pockets as drastically as they've been coming out, and we'll just be looking for helpers opposed to people who can fund these events once everyone partners. So thank you so much. Anything else to come before the council? No? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call on adjournment.
Councilmember Box Hill.
Aye.
Councilmember Gleason.
Aye.
Councilmember Turnquest Jones.
Aye.
Councilmember Wallace.
Aye.
Council President Thompson.
Aye. The meeting is, the time is now 9:27 p.m.